last topic I wanted to discuss was this Chud the Builder guy. Have you heard about Chud the
I
Builder?
don't know who this is.
Oh, Chud the Builder is this gentleman right here. I'm not gonna play any of these videos because I just don't want to deal with Chud. But he's a gentleman that is his government name. I have it in my notes here is Dalton Levi Etherly, he is an online content creator, live streamer based in Tennessee. So he's
Let
a
me
based in
guess, he
Tennessee guy.
racist.
Yes, and he was trying to rage bait black folks. That he was involved in a shooting outside of Montgomery courthouse in Tennessee because he didn't want to pay his bill and try to run out on his bill and said that because the restaurant didn't let him live stream. They were like, it's against our policy. And he's like, since y'all don't want me to live stream, we leaving. Keep in mind, him and his people already ate all their damn food up before all they doing all this. So he was like, no, I ain't paying. So they called the police on him and arrested him for theft.
Okay, yeah.
He's showing up for that case at the Montgomery courthouse. Comes out, somebody's like, dude, are you Chud the Builder? Are you that white dude that be fucking with people? He's like, yeah, what you want to do? And he says stuff about calling people the N-word, monkeys. They say he says you chimping out if you get upset for him running up on you, calling you the N-word, things like that. And he gets into it with the brother and tries to shoot him. And then he shot the other man and he shot himself on accident. So he went to the hospital and now he is being charged with attempted murder right now. Now, Mr. Chud the Builder has really got himself really jammed up because now, just similar to Cheyenne Bryant, everybody coming out with their story. Allegedly, he was a twink before, and that's not mean a disparaging term. That is the direct term of what it was. And then there's a young lady on Real Life Street Stars. Shout out to them. They have some great hood interviews on there. Not just hood, just good interviews. They've had Mark Cuban on there, a couple of people. They are based out of Dallas. Shout out to them brothers and sisters. But they got a woman on there. I just saw it before we started. The woman that pegged Chud the Builder, and they interviewed her for an hour and a half. But this is how Chud the Builder looks. Dom, I'm putting it up on the screen. That is Chud the Builder. This is not a video.
Those be the ones that like getting pegged.
Right. So, but no, he was supposed to be, a twink before that. He was a more effeminate man, and then all of a sudden he tried to do this different spin, allegedly, of this whole different thing. And I know people have been talking about it. It's been a big thing with it. But I want to talk about a white guy that was totally as crazy as him, but was for the right cause. And his name is John Brown. So John Brown, I mean, if you don't know about him, John Brown is an abolitionist from 1800s, right before the Civil War. He is the one that runs up on Harper's Ferry, which was one of the main places that had guns in the Union, not just in the Union. It was the United States then, this before the Civil War.
Okay.
So he recruits and he's been doing random stuff throughout the country in Kansas, Missouri. He just fucking with white people that have slaves all across the country. That's what he do. And he's speaking against slavery. He's speaking against all the different things that go on within the whole idea and process of. Now, the thing about John Brown is he kind of crazy. So he thinks that I'm trying to describe John Brown and like I'm gonna show a picture everybody of John Brown that is watching. But John Brown was an individual in many ways that didn't know like how things should be going, if I make sense. Like, they're not things how they should be going. He just was like, why we not doing that? Let's run up in the spot, which is commendable for 100%. But he would just do weird stuff. And I'm going to list off some of the weird stuff he'd be doing here, besides what his historical thing at Harper's Ferry. So I'm going to tell the real story first. So at Harper's Ferry, goes up at Harper's Ferry, his 3 sons, and 8 to 9 black brothers going, and they try to take over the arsenal with all these guns. So, because what John Brown thought was, if I can get that and get all the guns and start handing them out to black slaves, we can start the revolution now. Off the top. Problem was, they scouted it wrong, went the wrong day. the United States Army troops was there then, like literally just sitting there having beers and stuff and eating. And one of the main general over all that stuff was Robert E. Lee, who ended up running. He was there at Harper's Ferry because he was a United States Army soldier, regular Army soldier. He was there with his guys. Oh, no. It was guys over there. He came up on the thing because they got in, they got the shooting, they got some stuff. They got up in there. They get held up in there, I believe, for a week or so. They got held up in there, up in the Harper's Ferry. So one of the, and then they ended up catching John Brown, killing a lot of people. A lot of them gets hung and all that stuff. So one of the things about John Brown, he says, he told the federal government they put a $250 price tag on his head for all his activities in Kansas, right? So he issues his own wanted poster, putting a bounty of $20.50 for the president, for President Buchanan. So he makes up his own posters of the president of the United States and starts putting them around the country, saying he'll pay $20.50 to John Brown, and then putting his address. Like if you kill the president, I'll give you $20.50. So that's just one of the funny things he did. Saying then when he's gonna get hung, he was so crazy about it. He said, "I'm quite cheerful of my view approaching end, but being fully persuaded that I'm worth inconceivably more to hang them for any other purpose." He basically thought he was going to be a martyr for the whole cause, that everybody was just going to get down. Now, the last crazy thing is he thought that Frederick Douglass should go to Harper's Ferry and do this with him. Him and Frederick Douglass was cool. Jesus. So this is like this is the white crazy friend, y'all, that you'd be like, man, he'd be riding, but it's like, I don't know. So he wanted Fred Douglass to run with him and do that because he thought he could galvanize more people to start up the energy, to get more people involved, to try to take over this place. But they were saying, like, we're going to do it a different way, Johnny. He's like, fuck it. I'm taking my sons and 7 black people I know, and we're going to run up in Harper's Ferry where they got hundreds of soldiers. But he was down for the cause, and he believed in something more than what it was, and he didn't care about calling nobody no N-word because he believed in the freedom of black folks. So that's why I'm going to give a juxtaposition of Chud and John Brown. But John Brown is still funny. And it's some great history if you want to dive into him even more. But shout out to John Brown with his crazy ass.
I cannot.
So, but yeah, Chud the Builder, John Brown, 2 different folks, 2 different types of ways to look at black folks.
I can't.
I got some dope history that I found out coming up too on the history of the country of Grenada and how we messed that up too when they was trying to be free. But I'll talk about that on another.
Don't America always mess up everything?
Hey y'all, if you like what you see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to hit that button right there. It'll take you to more clips, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast. See you back next time.